A very good evening to everyone present here. It is truly a matter of immense pride and joy for me to welcome you all to this very insightful 91st online interactive session, which is also the 61st Leadership Development Program by Corporate Mentor. I extend my heartfelt greetings to the esteemed honorable guest speaker for the day, Mr. Manoj Dixit sir, respected honorable chairman Professor B.P. Singh sir in absentia, honorable Senior Professor Ajay Kumar Singh sir, honorable director of the college Professor Dr. Mahesh Sharma sir, respected registrar Dr. R.S. Singh sir, respected faculty members and my dear fellows. I, Pranav, a proud student of BCom Honors batch 2025 to 29 at DSPSR, feel deeply honored to stand before you today. DSPSR has always been committed to academic excellence, industry integration, and holistic student development. Today's session is another wonderful step in this direction. To commence this session on an auspicious note, let us now take part in the symbolic ritual of lighting the virtual lamp. This act represents the removal of darkness and the ushering in of wisdom and enlightenment. May this flame of knowledge guide us towards clarity, confidence, and success in the days ahead. Now, I kindly request Princey ma'am to play the virtual lamp lighting video.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा शुभं भवतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुखसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते।
It is my great honor to welcome our distinguished speaker for today, Mr. Manoj Dixit sir. He is the senior project manager in at INFOSYS Ltd. He works as a implementation program manager for INFOSYS digital banking solutions in the Europe region. With over a decade of professional excellence, Sir has been involved in implementation of internet banking and mobile banking software products used by more than 96% of Indian banks and many international banks. Currently, he is leading implementation for a bank in Ireland and Croatia while being based in Ireland. As a part of Infosys Europe implementation team, he continues to shape the digital transformation journey of global banking. Sir, your journey from Mumbai University to managing large-scale global banking technology projects is truly inspiring for us students. You represent how technical expertise, leadership, and global exposure can create a meaningful career in today's digital world. On behalf of DSPSR, I warmly welcome you, Mr. Manoj Dixit sir, and we look forward to learning from your wisdom and experience today. We are equally privileged to have as our moderator today Mr. Mayank Tyagi, a dedicated BBA student of batch 2025 to 29 at DSPSR. He represents the spirit of young learners at DSPSR and his curiosity and enthusiasm. He will guide today's interactive session effectively. On behalf of DSPSR, I warmly welcome you, Mr. Mayank, and we are delighted to have you moderate today's session.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Mr. Pranav. It's a privilege to welcome you, Mr. Manoj Dixit, sir, to the 91st online interactive session. We are truly honored to have you with us today. I'm certain Data insights will make this session not only highly engaging, but for the students, also enriching for everyone present here. To make this session more interactive and beneficial for our students, I would like to ask you sir some questions focused on student development and career growth. Shall I, sir?
Sure, Mayank. Thank you so much. Thanks for those kind words, Pranav and Mayank and everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Good afternoon, sir.
It's really nice, and it's a pleasure to join this session and have a discussion with all of you. It's always a pleasure to talk to young minds and to kind of interact and exchange and the points and the discussions. First of all, I would just like to wish everyone a happy Ganesh Chaturthi, whoever is celebrating, and Michami Dukadam to all the from the Jain religion. There's a festival today as well. So whoever is celebrating, best wishes to all of you and season's greetings. Yes, Mayank, we can start. Yeah.
Uh, Good afternoon, sir. What inspired you to choose engineering and later move into the IT and banking technology sector?
Yeah, Mayank. So that's actually, yeah, that's where it all started. So just just to give a brief introduction about myself, as Pranav has mentioned briefly before in his write-up. So I hail from Mumbai. I'm originally from Mumbai, and I did my bachelor's of electronics in Mumbai University in B electronics engineering, and then I got an opportunity to join INFOSYS Limited, which is one of the most esteemed technology and consulting companies of our country. So that's where I got placed through interview and GD and exam, etc. And that's where I've been. So when I was once upon a time like Pranav and Mayank, that's when I joined Infosys, and this is my first job itself. So I've not left, I've not switched. I have always been in Infosys. That's been my career journey as well, all through various departments and units, and have always been in the banking sector. So I work for a department in Infosys which specializes in banking software. So which is like internet banking and mobile banking that all of us use day in and day out, and that software is what we develop and then we deploy into banks. So all the banks are our clients, and that's basically the department, and that's basically my work profile in terms of implementing the digital banking software in various banks. So it's a regional kind of a division. So I started off with India projects, I moved on to different departments of the product, and now I am in the Europe department and Europe region. So I handle the similar digital banking software implementations in Europe region, currently handling one project, one program in Ireland and one program in Croatia. So I've always been uh, I've always been inclined towards the science kind of topics. Mathematics, science, etc. Was always my area of interest, and that's what very organically aligned me towards the science stream. And then after 12th standard, when I scored fairly well, then I kind of it automatically got into the engineering stream. So that's how engineering happened. Engineering was kind of a mix of hard work and kind of completely new world. When you are up to 12th, the world is different, and engineering is a different world altogether, especially Mumbai University. It's very tough. So 98% and 97% is actually equates into 75 and 72, because that's how engineering is, because there's a lot of different cross-sectional subjects that you've never dealt with before, etc. So it was a good learning, good experience. Went through the grind. It's actually a grind. Went through the grind, and then after engineering, uh, I kind of got an opportunity to you know uh, apply for Infosys, and then that's how my journey started. So yes, man, to answer your question, that's how it started.
Oh, nice, sir. So, what motivated you to join the Infosys and specialize in digital marketing?
So Infosys, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Infosys is one of the pioneers of the IT boom in India. Okay. While we were students itself, we knew about Infosys and its success story. It was started as a company, just to like give you all a context. It was started by 7 software engineers who were themselves an employee in a different IT company. It was their brainchild who those 7 people came together and started a startup called Infosys, and then through their hard work and vision, it got transformed into the multi-billion-dollar high-tech company that it is today, or it was back then as well. So it was always a dream company. It's among the top 3 or 4 in our country, along with TCS and Cognizant and Wipro, and then obviously Infosys being one of the top 4. So it was kind of like a very organic kind of decision. So I was kind of applying in various companies, and Infosys was one of them, because it was my aspiration to kind of get a job in a high tech company like Infosys. So that's how I applied for it, and then went through the grind. So day one, you don't go into that department. You have to go through when you are a new joinee. Infosys takes in new joinees. There's a proper college like uh, training period where they train you in various streams, and then they train you in specific streams like banking, etc. So they give you functional knowledge, they give you technical knowledge, and then they assign a unit or department to each person. So that's how it happened.
Sir, can you share sir, can you share how Infosys digital product marketing product has transformed banking experience worldwide?
Yeah, I mean, so it's actually it's a very vast topic. Okay, so when you say digital banking, it's essentially your everyday banking, for which each and every person walks into a branch, do any transaction. Traditionally, we've always done, as you guys would have seen your parents or grandparents do, write a check for themselves or write a check for the bill, and all those paper based transactions have got translated into paperless transactions. Everything is digital now, as you all would be using every day and day in and day out with your Google Pays and Paytms and in Phone Pays, etc. That is what the world has come to. There's no paper anymore. So digital banking actually is enabling and empowering the users or the consumers to sit in the comfort of their home and enjoy and kind of go through and use different features of banking sitting at home, right from opening an account to ordering a checkbook if you want, to making transfers, paying bills, etc. So that is what digital banking does. So that is, and that too securely, in a very trustworthy manner, and in a very straight through manner. You don't have to have the hassle of documentation and 10 documents and taking time, etc. So all those good things are put into a package, and that's what digital banking gives you. That sitting at home, you can do everything in quick time, within few clicks, straight through, no approval, no documentation, because everything is already there. You already have a relationship with the bank. So the bank knows it's you, because you've authenticated yourself through the secure manner. So all those things come together and give you the package of digital banking. That's how it empowers people today.
So, what does cybersecurity play in digital marketing now?
Okay, so cyber security is a very important aspect. Okay, so you, as a very logical point, you want everything to be secure, right? Whatever you do, you want it to be secure in your everyday life. Now add to it the flavor of you are handling your own money. Obviously you will want security. You don't want your money to go to a wrong person. You don't want your money to kind of go to someone else. get double debited, etc. So cyber security actually helps or goes in hand along with banking, because banks have to be secure. A physical bank also has security guards outside, right? When you go to a bank, there is a security guard outside or two security guards out. So those security guards are basically digitally the cyber security module, which helps to detect any fraud or detect any risk for fraudulent risk, etc., and then plays safe, and then those guardrails are in place to alert in case there is a suspected. Even suspected is not allowed in banking transactions. So any kind of fraudulent transactions that may or would be around the corner, it detects, and then it raises alarm and then prevents. So cybersecurity actually helps in these aspects, so that people's money is always secure, and there's a trust that gets built around the bank's image always.
So what skills should students focus on if they want to enter the IT or the fintech industry?
Okay. So there are various things actually nowadays. There are various things that one can focus on. So if you want to get into uh, the IT industry, first of all, you need to have a base skill, a foundation skill, a foundation technological skill set. So it can be Java J2E, it can be .NET, it can be Python, it can be Node.js. Some foundation has to be there. These are various languages, technical languages, which I just mentioned. So this is the specialization or the foundation. And then around that, to add to it, one can then uh, learn data analytics, and AI, artificial intelligence. So these are the kind of powering pillars along with it. So a person having a foundation base and then enhancing it further through these pillars can definitely, help the person to make inroads into the industry.
Sir, how is implementing digital banking solutions for European banks different from the Indian bank?
Okay, so first of all, yeah, it is different. Although the software is same, we have different flavors. Some are very tangible flavors, tangible as in you can see it, you can actually feel the difference. And some are intangible, that there is a difference but some those factors cannot be seen. So the tangible flavors are very obvious ones, like when a country changes, uh, the if it is a non English speaking country, we have to implement the software in their language. So all the screens, all the buttons, everything has to be translated into their language, so that the majority of the people who use the software can understand what they're doing. So most of our Indian banks also have started using the multilingual, as we call it, multiple language, multilingual aspect. So they offer their end users the feature or the comfort of changing the language if they want. So so that is one difference. That is kind of a cosmetic difference, because the functionality remains the same, the button will do the same thing, just that the button name will be in that language. That is very the first thing, because the presentation really matters and really helps in that sense. So, and then from a overall kind of other aspects kind of thing, India is a very big market. Our population is, like, number one, as all of you know. It's more than 1.4 billion. So typically our public sector banks, like our PNBs and our State Bank of India, or even ICICI now, Axis, all these banks have a huge, humongous customer base in crores. That is not the case overseas. When you go to a European bank, the population of the country itself is 50 lakh, which is, I mean, Mumbai itself or Delhi itself is 2.5 crores. So our one city population is more than the whole country population in Europe. So the volume, I mean, is vastly different. So the India projects are always more complex in that sense, because of the volume of customers because of the number of people we have in India. So that's why that makes India based projects very complex, because if there are transactions and there are systems running since years together of crores of people, and then you have to upgrade them to latest, that becomes a very complex matter. And then we have different regulations coming in India. Like, recently, I don't know if you all are aware that there was, in the recent past, like 4 5 years back, there was a directive to merge small banks into bigger public sector banks. Like 3 4 banks got merged into PNB. Dena Bank got merged into Bank of Baroda. So there's no Dena Bank anymore. It's got converted to Bank of Baroda. So it doesn't happen overnight. Okay, it was announced from the government side that it has to happen, but there is a humongous amount of work that was done. That project also was with us, with Infosys, where these respective banks, crores of records since years together, has had to be transformed into the parent bank. So it takes a lot of complexities to achieve that. So to answer your question, the difference is India projects are much more complex because of the sheer volume, because of the number of concurrent people that may use the application at any given point of time because of our population. That is not the case overseas. But overseas, the difference is the language, because the language is typically, if it's not an English speaking country, it has to be their home language. So you have to understand and try to kind of translate into that the bank helps us in that, in every country. It's not us who translate. We bring in a specialist, and then they also have their specialist team to do that. And then there are various laws that we have to understand. So the regulatory laws of Europe are different. There are very strict laws in terms of data access. It's called GDPR law. So you can't access data from outside EU. The consent has to be taken. So every time those kind of flows are there, you have to ask the user a consent that we are going to share your data. Are you okay with it? So these are small flavors. This kind of consent, etc., is not a regulatory law for India. So there are various regional kind of differences, and both have their complexities. But mainly, I would say overall, India-based projects are much more complex because of just the sheer number of transactions, because of the number of people.
Hmm. Sir, what challenges do you face when handling projects across countries like Ireland and Rotaria?
Croatia, yeah. So
Okay.
again, that is a point that I just touched upon, Mayank. Uh, in Europe, uh, every few, like, those countries are, like, smaller. So there are many countries, and everyone has their own language, and everyone has a history. Everyone has their own culture. So while Ireland is an English speaking country, because it was a part of UK, it is right next to UK, and it was all one country before, and they're basically English people. So they're not English, they're Irish, but they have an English background like India has, right? So even like in India, if you know English, you can manage, right? Similarly, in Ireland, the first language is English, so that's not a problem. However, Croatia is not the case. Croatia has their own language called Croatian. So everything is in Croatian there. They speak very, like, English is their maybe third language after Croatian and Serbian. So you have to kind of make sure, for effective communication, you speak with them in such a way that they understand, so that you can get across your point. So in communication, that matters a lot. uh, they are different people. Ireland, obviously, as you see in India, ours also is a very big country, right? So if you go from a place A to place B, and the type of people are different because of the place changing. So the culture and the type of people and the language is completely different between the two countries. So you have to kind of tailor yourself to make sure your message goes across, and there is no kind of harm done in terms of hurting anyone or unintentionally, etc. Because or or you being misunderstood because you wanted to ask something else and something else was understood. So that's what we kind of ensure that we don't, like, we kind of, it's called horses for courses. So wherever you are, you speak in that way, so that the audience understands. That's how we toggle and manage, Mayank.
Sir, how can students build a global mindset while studying locally?
Okay, so nowadays I think it's actually, there is no local concept. Okay, you all are global students because everything has come to a palm top, right? I mean, you just open your mobile, you open a couple of apps, you can kind of get all the information all across the globe, right? From social networking to professional apps to courses that are available. So you have to always kind of uh, be conversant with what is going on, in based on what, where you want to take your journey ahead, which path do you want to explore. And then you have to always kind of be open to exploring, open to learn, do the hard work, put in the hard yards, and then kind of stay always updated and go in for it, like increasing your knowledge and building kind of your you can say your skills, upgrading your skills and keeping them up to date, building your skills rather than just typing those as words in your resume. You have to actually know as well, so you have to put in that hard work. That is what will really help you.
Sir, how do you think AI and automation will shape banking in the near future?
Okay, so it has already started shaping, okay, Mayank, in our software as well. We have a lot of automation, we have a lot of AI coming in. So it is transforming even now, and going forward I think it is going to transform even further, where your management and maintenance of the machines is going to be automated even further. Automated systems and automated tools are going to come in even further. Right now we have kind of, we are in the, you can say, automation is like in a beginner phase, where we have some level of automation, where a click of a button picks up the software from a folder and then puts it in the right place. That's the automation we have right now. I think that click of a button also will not be required after going. There will be no person required to click that button. It would be, that also would be automated. So an AI actually we have in the way, in the form of, in our product even today we have like a chatbot. A chatbot where someone who logs in into the app or the application, the chatbot pops up and then asks you. You may have seen it in various sites, like you go to some site, some shopping site or whatever, a chatbot comes up and then asks you some questions. Do you want help with any of this, or any airline site, etc. They have these, they also have integrated that chatbot thing is there in our system also now. So I think even further AI would go, next, take the next steps in terms of fraud detection, fraud prevention, bringing in more trustworthy kind of, secure, tight kind of transactions, and making the whole banking ecosystem even more secure, because it will immediately detect a suspected transaction, possible fraudulent transaction, alert, stop, prevent, and thereby kind of secure people's money even further. I think it's going to be it's already started playing, so I think it's just going to increase in terms of how much it contributes.
Sir, what has been the most complex project you handled, and how did you overcome its challenges?
Okay, so there have been a couple actually in that area. So some years back, I was placed, or I was based in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and I was handling a multi-country African implementation of 16 countries for our digital banking. So that had a lot of complexity in terms of each country in Africa having a different demographic, different number of people, different type of people, some were aggressive, some were very friendly, some were very, with different countries, the whole background and culture of people changes. So they require the requirements that they wanted to implement, were different. There was many and many places languages were different, because some were British colonies, whereas some were France colonies, and some were Portugal colonies. So a country like Angola had Portuguese as their 98% kind of first language, so they wanted everything in Portuguese. And French Guinea wanted everything in French. And then Namibia was UK, a British colony, so it wanted everything in English. So those flavors were all coming back to back, because it was a multi-country implementation with different people. So that was very complex, um, kind of establishing the communication bonds with different kind of people, and making sure that the implementation is smooth and seamless as far as possible, because it was a complex kind of ecosystem of different systems coming together to form the application. So that was one complexity there. And in Ireland, in Ireland, in this bank that I'm handling right now, one of the banks, so there the complexity was more of technical in nature, because they had their own old internet banking and old mobile app, and they still wanted to implement our software at the same time have their mobile app for some things. So it was like A and B coming together and giving a seamless unified experience to the user. The customer will not know, he will just see one screen and he will click buttons what he wants, and some buttons were our software and some buttons were their old software. So that whole complexity of making kind of like a bhel, as we have it in chart, right? It was like a bhel of different things coming together and giving the same flavor. So that was very complex, because it was actually a technical integration between two different systems that don't know each other, but we had to make them talk to each other, so that the user does not feel and does not have to log in again and again. Just one login is enough for both applications.
So, how did you manage these high pressure situations for the international client?
Yeah, again, I mean, it is all communication, Mayank. It boils down to communication. It boils down to people. In the end, you're dealing with people. So while there's a technical aspect, which is a majority, because that is what we're doing, we are implementing a technical software. So having the right people do the right things, or kind of locating and making sure we have the right skilled people for the right type of activity, and then establishing the communication bonds with different clients, and making sure that there is transparency, there is clear communication, there is effective communication, there is a quick feedback loop, so that we can, whoever the right party is, can take quick action and corrective action. I think these things are, stakeholder updates, making sure all the stakeholders, all the necessary stakeholders, internal as well as external, be it within Infosys or be it external, the bank stakeholders, who the right people, the important people who have the power and responsibility of the project, and can make and take decisions. They get to know the feedback in quick time, continuously, so that no one is surprised. So I think that all these aspects put together, it helps definitely. And there will be issues in these big projects. There are always issues, because it's not only us. There are some 15, 16 different teams doing their own thing to bring the project together. So there are challenging times, obviously, but you have to kind of work on these all these factors to manage that.
But if a banking implementation fails, what is your approach to problem solving?
Don't scare me, Mayank. Scary question. So that's actually the scariest part, right? I mean, in a banking application, imagine, because you know what we always do is we imagine ourselves in that place. you know what happens, what will happen if my application is down, or the one that I am using on my mobile goes down. Going down is still okay, for a retail user, but for a consumer. But for a company, it may be a bigger risk, and a bigger, it may lead to even more kind of problematic scenario, because companies have a lot of rolling money. They have a lot of sweeping going on from this account to that account. From that account, it has to go there, because from there an automatic debit is going to happen, of lakhs of rupees, etc. So it's a very, I mean, that is something that we hope never happens to any of our projects. But there are certain guardrails that are in place, beforehand. When we say guardrails, there is a framework that is established. When there is it's called a master service level agreement, MSA. When with a client we have an MSA established, there are all these frameworks that we establish of uh, the severity of an issue that may come in. We define the severities 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if it is 1, then we will have uh, restoration and resolution. Restoration meaning we will do a workaround in so and so time to make sure your application starts running. So and then resolution is actual clean fix of an issue, and then that is defined. So the time is defined, and that is signed by both the parties, so that no one comes and catches your collar. That's the first guardrail that is in place always. That's always done. Okay. And then to actually do the work or actually do the action, there are again different guardrails. There is something called a disaster recovery environment along with the production environment, which is a mirror of production. So when a production environment has an issue for which goes down, that the example that you gave, a critical issue that login is not happening, it's got down completely, nothing is working, immediately a decision is taken by stakeholders to go across and move the pointer to disaster recovery, because that is always in sync with production. And that is the reason why we have a disaster recovery. And nowadays that also has become automated. That is where the AI and the automation part that I was mentioning, right, that has come in, where that also is like a matter of a few minutes. All the banks have it in place, where they just give the signal, go over to DR, disaster recovery, and in within few minutes disaster recovery kicks in and application comes up. So we have various things, various systems and various frameworks in place to make sure that uh, how to deal and with a critical situation and severity one kind of an issue.
Sir, how do you ensure smooth coordination between global teams spread across countries?
Right. So as I have actually touched upon these few points in my earlier 5 minutes back, but uh, so first of all, the most important part here is communication, stakeholder communication. So we have various kind of means and methods that we have established. We have daily calls, daily stand-up calls, that is daily meetings with the ground level team, where all the teams talk to each other, and that day's tasks are decided and agreed. We have weekly calls with the management to make sure how weekly status is updated and everyone is aware and transparency is there. And then we have something called a steering committee meeting, which is uh, the executive people, the sponsors and the signers, etc., of the project, and that we have on a monthly basis. So we have different means of communication with different layers of the teams across, which are spread across the world, be it the client, be it our on-site team, our offshore team, our near-shore team. So everyone comes together in these various forums. The right people come together and make sure that the communication and status is discussed and updated, so that there is no surprise. Everyone knows about the status all the time.
So, what advice would you give to students who are who have dream of working abroad like you?
Okay, so the dream should not be about abroad. The dream should be about knowledge. The dream should be about hard work. And the dream should be about your interest. Okay. Because everyone's career path is different. Okay. I was just mentioning it to, I think, uh, your team as well when I was discussing with them that my career path is different. Okay. My career path is, my own career path. So it won't be Mayank Tyagi's career path. Yours will be your own, right? And which will be for each person out here. So you have to kind of accept that. You have to, if you have some thinking to do, you're not sure, that's okay. Okay, that's okay. It's okay to have that uh, kind of thought or confusion right now, because you guys are young and you're still kind of learning and going through your course, etc. Because everyone has their own career path. It's not a straight line. Everyone has their own curves. It's a winding road, kind of in a ghat kind of driving. So you have to explore. You have to be open to learning. You have to be open to kind of do new things, see your area of interest, and put in the hard work. Okay, so and then kind of once you know this is what I want to do, then you have to plan and note down the action points for achieving that or going towards that. So it should not, there is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. Never. Okay, neither in your studies right now nor in your work, because you have to put in the hard work. There is no shortcut to hard work. Whatever you are doing, you'll have to put the hard work. Automation is only in software. Nothing happens on the click of a button. Okay, so you guys have to remember that. Okay, and just keep that in mind. The goal should not be going abroad. The goal should be to learn. The goal should be to increase our own knowledge all the time. Be updated all the time. Once a person thinks that I know everything, I am the best, I know everything, that is the full stop on that person. You have to keep learning. We even, like in Infosys, and we keep on doing courses. Keep on doing courses of the latest things of AI, of data analytics, etc. Whatever is a new thing coming in, because that we bring into our software so that we stay updated. Our software does not become, or our people as well as our software does not become outdated, because that is the biggest asset we have. The people are our biggest assets, who kind of, they will help themselves and the project will be helped together. So the same way you have to do, keep yourself updated all the time and go for the hard work and the dedication and the area of interest, you know so that's what I will advise, my 2 cents.
So, so looking back, is there something you wish you had learned earlier in your career that would have helped you today?
Oh, see, I think, I mean, that would have helped me today. Maybe no. I mean, because this AI and everything came much later. They are like recent things. So as they are coming in, we are trying to learn and trying to catch up. But nowadays, I heard that, or what I came to know was that in engineering itself, AI engineering has come up. There's a there's a stream itself in engineering, and they have various topics and various subjects which were not there. So that I wish it was there back then, which would have then given me the edge there, where I would have learned it in college itself. But it was not at all there when I was in college. That concept itself was not there. It has come up in the last few years. So they've now inculcated uh, into our engineering streams. Uh, I think that is something that really has a lot of powerful kind of scope there. The AI and the data analytics. How can you analyze data? How can you uh, work on chunks of data, analyze them for growing the business for your client?
So, what is the one decision in your career that you are most proud of?
I think reading the advertisement of Infosys hiring in the newspaper and then deciding to go for it. I think that was one of my most, I think, path changing kind of decision. So for a few months, after my college, for a few months, I was actually working in a call center. I was working in a BPO just to gain more experience, just like that, to gain more experience while I was looking for, job opportunities. And that also helped me a lot because that was a call center which was making cold calls, as in we were calling to sell. So the person who was receiving the call did not know I'm going to call. So talking overseas to people who are not expecting your call, making them listen to yourself, making or selling them things, etc. That gave me a lot of confidence. That built in, kind of inculcated into me the confidence to talk to people, to present myself, to get across my idea to people of different cultures, of different nationalities, because we were calling Canada, we were calling USA, etc. So that was a really enriching experience for me. While that I was there, I had this ad in paper which I read, and then I went for it. So that was, I think, uh, one of my most important decisions.
Sir, what message would you like to give to students who are still confused about their career path?
No, I just said no like 5 minutes back. So it's okay to be confused, okay? Because at least you're confused, at least you're thinking. So no one will have the same thing. Okay, even in your batch itself, the 40, 50, 60, 80, whatever number of people you are, you will all have a different career path. You can't copy someone's career path. Okay, you can
Yes.
be inspired by it, you can't copy. But how you have to decide is, uh, be open, be open to learning, be open to hard work, willing to put in the kind of put your head down and focus and do the hard work, exploring the ideas, and then enriching yourself with knowledge. I think that will then help you, each one of you, to kind of understand or kind of know, okay, this is what I want to do, this is my area of interest, this is what I'm good at, and then I like it as well, so I might as well specialize in it.
So, sir, how do you keep yourself updated with the latest trends in both technology and banking?
Yeah, so like I said, right, again, I touched upon this point a few minutes back. We constantly do that in Infosys. We constantly do that in our department, where we have a parallel knowledge stream going on for everyone. Like even for someone like me, or even for someone like who's just joined out of college, right from there up to middle, up to top, up to everyone, all layers have their own knowledge stream. So we have a very powerful and very good framework in our company, where constantly we get updated with topics and with areas which are useful and are kind of applicable to banking, are going to come into banking. uh, just to give you an example, there is a regulatory rule, a compliance rule, that has got become effective in Europe banks from January 2025. It's called DORA. Okay, it's for digital operational and resilience of kind of all the digital applications, and that is a new concept, completely new concept, that the EU, European Union, has published for all EU countries. And therefore the Europe region people like myself have had to kind of enrich ourselves in terms of understanding what this DORA is. That for that we got helped through our knowledge stream, where those concepts and those documentations and those articles and all were published by our knowledge center. So we keep on doing this because this is our DORA kind of is our latest example this year, which we had to go through.
Sir, in one line, how would you define success in today's changing world of technology?
So defining success, I mean, defining success is like, this question is like, very subjective. It's equivalent to say define happiness. So for everyone, happiness is different. For everyone, success is different. I think success is, uh, somewhat directly proportional to kind of gaining knowledge, and making sure you are uh, in there with the times, always updated. uh, you take interest in your work. You are open to hard work. You don't take things for granted. You don't think you are indispensable, uh, you know that you are everything. You Without you, there will be no work done, etc. That is all kind of a myth. If people think that way, everyone is dispensable. So you have to kind of always be open to learning, always have your feet on the ground firmly, and be ready to hard work. So I think these factors will kind of give you a sense of, you can say, satisfaction with your work, with how you are working, with your work itself, with the quality of work, and with your uh, kind of hard work that you're putting in, with the dedication you're putting in. I think that is what translates to success. So uh, doing these elements and always being firmly on the ground is what will definitely help everyone.
So, any other advice you want us to remember after this session?
No, I think again, I said a few points there. Uh, be open to new ideas. Be open to hard work always. There is no shortcut to victory. You put in the hard work, whatever you're doing now, your course as well as any post graduation that you want to do, and then which which post graduation, which specialist area, based on your area of interest, based on what you like, based on what you've explored, right? Look out for internships. If someone can give you internship, and then in your interest of interest area of interest, and then that helps to for you to realize, etc. So do all these things. Everyone's path will be different, but I think once you make the elementary things correct, and have those things in place, I think the bigger picture will take care of itself.
That's all from my side, sir. Thank you so much for the valuable insight.
Thank you, Mayank, for the valuable and insightful questions.
If anyone has some other doubts, you may ask, sir, please.
And thanks to everyone. I just want to say a note of thanks to everyone, uh, right from Ajay Kumar sir, who actually gave me this idea, who suggested this, and then to Ishita and to Komal and everyone for organizing this. And it was really a pleasure kind of, and kind of I feel very grateful that I got this opportunity to talk to Mayank, but through Mayank to everyone from his batch who's listening on. So all the best to everyone. Do well, put in the hard work, go in the hard yards, and please remember, no shortcuts.
Thank you so much, sir. That was very insightful session. And Pranav, please give vote of thanks.
Thank you, Komal.
Pranav, Pranav, are you there? 1 second, sir.
No problem. I think he's facing some technical issue with the microphone.
Pranav?
You are on mute.
Please.
Pranav, you are on mute. Manoj, by the way, it was really heartening to listen to you. Very inspiring session. And coming from you, that there is no shortcut to success and hard work is a thing that you have to put in, and so on and so forth, is something which is very much required for the young generation, which is in the age of artificial intelligence and machine learning and all
Yeah.
that, which think that every answers can come by
Okay,
putting
now.
the right kind of prompt.
Okay.
So it was
Yeah.
really very important. Thank you for being here and sharing all this. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We are
Thank you,
truly
sir.
grateful for the presence of our distinguished speaker, Mr. Manoj Dixit, sir. Your valuable insights and contributions have made the session highly meaningful for all of us. On behalf of DSPSR, I sincerely thank you, sir, for sharing your time and knowledge with us, and Mr. Mayank for moderating the session so gracefully. My gratitude also goes to our respected dignitaries, faculty members, and my fellow students for making this event a success. Thank you all and have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Komal. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ajay, sir. Thank you all. Thanks, Mayank. All the
Thank
best.
you,
Thanks.
sir.
Bye.
Thanks, Manoj. Thank you very much.
Afternoon, sir.